Let's get into some things of the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be his back, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. You know I'm talking about y'all. Makes me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up, y'all? I still had this up from the last live, child. Let me take this thing down. Okay. I did email myself to update it. The correct flyer. I have to put it in StreamYard. I did update it. But we'll go over that later on in the live. What's up, y'all? Come on in. Y'all know we're doing these early lives so tonight I have 2 panels. Child, I'm working. Now, I know I'm still behind on these reviews. Listen, y'all gonna have to get them when y'all get them, how y'all get them. Y'all know I'm going right back out of town on Friday, so we're going to do the best we can with what we got, okay? Yeah, there's that. All right. Let's get into it. Let me say hi to the people. Y'all coming up in here. Let me say hi to the people. Let me say hi to the people, and then we're going to get into these things. La Queen. Hey, Angela, what's up, boo? Little Miss Introvert, Cross Country Cruiser. Lord, I can't talk. Cross Country Cruiser. Andrea, hey, boo. Miss Jocelyn, Gossip in the Garden. Hey, Tawanda. What's going on? Complex, Crazy Homebody Girl. What's up, Ebs? Hey, boo. Yolanda Morgan, Ravine. Hey, girl. Just saw you, girl. Miss Child, look. Me and my eyes today. What's up, Miss Terica? What's up, boo? Miss Baythang, Amber, what's going on? Southern Belle, Little Miss Introvert, hey girl. Montrez, hey boo. Carl, Miss Pretty Amazing, what's up, girl? Corey, what's up, Cheryl? Felicia, what's going on? Monique Taylor, okay. You acting like the elder every time I say, well, this weekend is El Teddy's field trip. I mean, it's okay. So look, it's this weekend, it's next weekend, and then I'll be home. Ooh, I'll only be home for like 2 weeks, and then I'm going to y'all's birthday party, and then I'll be home until Books and Bourbon. Yeah. After y'all's birthday party, I'll be home until Books and Bourbon. Yeah. That's why I was going to go to that. I was going to try to go to the football game in December, but I think I'm going to just chill. You know, my bank account is telling me to sit my ass down. Yeah. All right, y'all. So happy 3-year chair anniversary to you guys. I need y'all to know that this is the anniversary of the brawl. What was that, Mississippi? I need y'all to know that video never gets old for me. I'm not going to show it because it's too early in my video, and I don't want YouTube. I don't want YouTube to come to me and mess with my video. But please know that video never gets. It was Alabama. Thank you. Please know that video never gets old. It never gets old because I'm telling you. When the first time I saw that video, when I saw that man toss that hat in the air, I knew it was over. That man stopped, took the hat off his head, tossed it in the air. I said, it's over. I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but it's not going to be good for the other people. Not going to be good for the other people. I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but it's not going to be good. And then I saw all them men jump off that ferry and swim their ass to shore. See, what y'all gonna do is, hey, Choreo Lover, what's up, boo? What y'all are gonna do is y'all gonna stop talking about how black people can't swim, because them black men, they sure swam their ass to shore. And they got there quick too. When y'all first time, tell the truth. The first time y'all saw that video, were y'all cheering them men on like it was the Olympics and they was trying to get a gold medal? Were you like, let's go, get like, were you really look? Y'all was cheering them in on like it was a gold medal race down to the Olympics. So y'all better stop talking about black people can't swim, because they knew how to swim. They could swim well enough. Maybe they could swim well enough. So it's the 3-year anniversary. Lift every chair and swing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know what to tell you. I can't show the video. Hey T, I was thinking about y'all today. I hope everything is well with you and your family. You were on my mind. You and French Kiss, y'all were on my mind. I thought about y'all earlier today. Fravine said I was rooting for everybody black. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what that is. Lift every chair and swing. It's a 3-year anniversary. So, congratulations. Now, let's just go ahead and jump into it, because I told y'all I'm trying to get a lot done today. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Clarissa Shields. And somebody was like, they don't understand why people be picking on Clarissa Shields. They feel like that the people pick on Clarissa Shields. And I said, well, Clarissa Shields makes herself the story, right? And let me give y'all an example. Let me give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. This happened the other day. I'm going to let y'all hear. For those who did not hear this, I'm going to let y'all hear it, and then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it together. I'm going to let y'all hear this. So Clarissa Shields was doing an interview. Really, we should end today's meeting with you bringing in the AV set. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, the AV set. I don't know what that means, girl. I'm old. I know what an AV is, but I don't know what that means. Oh, and watch the video. We might. So let me let y'all hear. She was down to the radio station and now she's mad at this lady, Miss the DJ that asked her to interview. I'm gonna let y'all hear the question and I'm gonna let y'all hear the response.
Because I didn't be here before. How much longer are you willing to be in a relationship with somebody's husband? Because at the end of the day, that's what people are looking at.
Well, pause.
Okay.
Pause, because that's not somebody's husband.
Okay.
That Papoose filed for divorce. Y'all hate to say that word, but it's the word that's out there.
Okay.
He filed for divorce because he's serious about me. So
Okay.
I'm not with somebody's husband.
Okay.
And if you're going to call him her husband, make sure you call her his wife. And also hold her accountable for what she's doing in her life. Because she has me, who she's big about. So don't make it seem like it's just one-sided. I'm not with somebody's husband. I'm with the man who filed for divorce, who's serious about me, who has done things for me that I've done for him. So that's not what it is. They say that because they want that to be the narrative, but that's not it. People go through divorces and breakups more than anything in the world. That's why it's such a big talk.
Oh, we know.
Like, yeah. Real question, because I didn't.
That's why people talk about her. Ma'am, words mean things. Just because you filed for divorce does not mean you're not with somebody's husband. That man is still legally married to Remy Ma, whether he want to be or not, whether she wants to be or not. They are still married. And you are absolutely correct. When Remy Ma is dating somebody, she's a married woman dating somebody. But that doesn't change the fact that Papoose is a married man dating you. It doesn't change. And Remy Ma told the people down to the Angie Martinez cookout last week, she explained why they ain't married, why they not divorced yet. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank you, Ravine. Thank you, Italia. Thank you. She explained at the Angie Martinez cookout last weekend. She explained why they not divorced. She said that man want half, and she said he ain't getting half, and that's why they ain't divorced yet. She said until he can come to the table with something that make a little bit more sense. Now, that's what she said. Now, we can argue and debate. When I say argue, you know, I don't really mean argue because we ain't really arguing. But we can argue and debate about whether, you know, he deserves half, whether he should, or he held her down. Like, we can get into all the ins and outs of what we think we know about these people's marriage. I mean, that's fine. I don't know what really happened behind closed doors. The story we were always told was that he held her down while she was locked up. We don't know that she done came down here and said, listen, I let y'all believe a lot of shit to save face, to let that man look like he was, you know, the best husband in the world, the best man in the world. But it ain't what y'all all thought it was. It ain't what it was all cracked up to be. It just wasn't. Now listen, that ain't my business. That's between the two of them. But what don't change is the fact that he's still married. What has not? So when somebody said, now, was the question worded in a messy way? It was. It wasn't even a question that needed to be asked. I don't think it did. If I'm being very honest, was that a question that needed to be asked? Probably not. I'm sure Clarissa was there to promote her upcoming fight. I don't think it was necessary to ask her about what does it feel like to be married, to be dating a married man. Or I don't. Congratulations, Carl. Thank you, KDK, for the gifted membership. And congratulations, Carl, 3465. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, was it a messy question? Sure it was. Yeah, it was. It was messy. We're gonna call a thing a thing. It was a messy question. But at the end of the day, girl, you got to do a better way of answering the question. You know that people are going to ask you. That is not the best way to answer that question. The best way to answer that question would have been, you know, listen, me and Pat are in a good place right now. We know that he is still going through the legal process of a divorce. And, you know, until the divorce is final, we're not making any, you know, we're just enjoying life. Life is just what it is. Acknowledge it because it's a fact. Acknowledge the fact that the man is married, but he's not living with his wife. Like, y'all aren't having an affair. Like, y'all not sneaking around people's back. Like, they are legally separated. People who are legally separated date all the time. But ain't nothing wrong with you dating a married man. So was the question a little shady? It was. But the way you answer it is to just say, look, we know that, you know, the divorce is still going on. We know things can be complicated when people have been married for 20 years. It's a lot there to untangle. And me and him are just enjoying ourselves while he finishes that process. That's it. That's all. That's going to shut people up because there ain't nothing left to say after that. What is there left to say after that? Nothing. Anyway, everyone isn't down for married cheaters. I know I'm not. Ooh. I personally don't think she's very smart. Listen, here's what I believe. I believe that Clarissa had a really rough life. I believe that Clarissa dealt with all types of obstacles, including abuse, including neglect. We know that her life, her upbringing was not easy. I'm not even being, I'm in no way, shape, or form being funny or shady when I say that. That woman has had a really rough life, and she has made something out of nothing. She has become very successful in her field. Do I think that she's very book smart or very intellectual? I don't. And I'm not saying that to be shady. I don't. However, I also think she don't have good people around her that tells her, the right things to say. Thank you, Uncle Alert. Hold on. Thank you. Thank y'all for the gifts. I'm so glad I can see these gifts now. I really appreciate y'all. Shit, Lord, I can't scroll up. This damn. Don't say nothing, T. Don't you say nothing about me not being able to scroll up, T. Don't you say nothing. T gonna say something in a minute. She gonna say something. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you for the jewels, Uncle Alert. Thank you, boo. Hold on. Really be how detailed do you think her IEPs? Listen. The sad thing is, and this is no shade to Detroit public school system. I don't know nothing about y'all. I really don't. I'm not being funny. I don't know a lot about the Detroit public school system, but because I know that she grew up in a neglected part of Detroit, that she grew up. Well, she's from isn't she from Flint, where the water was fucked up? Because she might not even had an IEP. Unfortunately, she might have just been lumped in, But I believe she probably needed one. She had a female mentor, Layla Ali. But then, she got in her head that Layla Ali was jealous of her and wanted to be like her. And, I have to wonder how much of this stuff she comes up with herself and how much of this is other people manipulating her and putting it in her head. Because let's call it thing at that. And I don't know, let me be clear. I don't know none of her handlers, okay? This is not a personal attack on anybody that is in Clarissa Shields' camp. Let me be very clear. However, this is just an observation. I have to wonder if there is somebody that benefits from keeping Clarissa Shields away from people that would help her. Because Layla Ali could have really helped her, not just help her be more polished and be more accepted, but also maybe help make sure that she wasn't getting taken advantage of, making sure that her contracts were right, making sure that the right people were around her, putting her in the right places, getting her the endorsement deals and the recognition. Like, we know that Layla Ali can get you in the room. And we're not going to act like all the rooms are the same, because they're not. All rooms are not created equal. All endorsements are not created equal. All exposure is not created equal. And you have to wonder, did somebody get in her head and tell her, hey, Layla Ali don't mean she don't mean you no good. She just jealous of you. She's washed up. She's trying to get some shine off of you, because she always seems to feel like people want to be around her for clout, except for Papoose. That's the only person she doesn't seem to think wants clout off of her is Papoose. But everybody else wants her for clout. Everybody else is trying to get shine off of her. Everybody else. So I wonder. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering. Just be glad you can't hear me. I'm sending you a voice note. You sending me. Don't say nothing. Don't you. She's talking about me, child. Yeah, she from Flint. That's down there where the water was fucked up, right? Mm-hmm. I wish Layla would have been a mentor. She wanted to be. She tried to be. She tried to be. I ain't saying I think the water did it. I'm just saying that's where the water was fucked up. That's what I'm saying. I just always connect. I have a really good friend. I have a really good friend of mine. He went to A&T when I was at Bennett. To this day, we're still really good friends. He from Flint. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Very smart. So I ain't saying. I'm just making the connection. That's all. When I hear Flint, I just think about the water. I'm sorry. That's what I think of, child. She's a target, and people. What's up, Kim? Hey, boo. Don't mind bullying her because they know she'll respond. Because she should not be in a fight being put on by Zeus. She's too big. Yeah, like her whole affiliation with Zeus, that would never be a thing If she was working with Layla Ali, absolutely not. Do you really think Layla Ali would have her doing fights for Zeus? She'd be on fucking HBO. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely not. And again, I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying it would be easy. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think bully is the right word. I think Clarissa puts herself in positions for people to respond. But anyway, do people bully? Yeah, we know that trolls online bully, you know. There's no reason a woman as accomplished as Clarissa should be with Pat. Well, listen, the heart wants what the heart wants. I ain't gonna say that. The heart wants what the heart wants. Aggie Pride, yes. Hey, Uncle Jay, you went to A&T. I didn't know that. Clarissa and Nicki Minaj have the same hater spirit, but both are really insecure and jealous. They are. That's a good point. They are. Showtime, HBO, exactly. She's an Olympic gold medalist in boxing. She is too damn good for Zeus. Yeah. Yeah. So again, I don't have an issue with Clarissa Shields. And honestly, I do feel like I do agree with you, Kim, in the sense that there are sometimes that people almost bait her into things because they know she's going to respond. You a third generation Aggie? Wow. Okay. All right. I see you, Aggie. I don't know why I didn't know that, Uncle Jay. I did know you were in North Carolina, though. I did know you were in North Carolina, but I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't know that. I usually remember my Aggies. But it's like like I said, I do feel like people say things because they know they're gonna get a response from her. Very, you know what I'm saying? So she does respond, and she shouldn't. She shouldn't. Zeus is what she's attracting. All bad stuff is coming her way. She needs to sage herself. I know that's why you sage herself. She's definitely good clickbait. You're right, Kim. And again, do I think that question was messy? I do. I'm not gonna attack the woman who did it. But it was a messy question. But just because people ask you a messy question, doesn't mean you have to give them the clickbait response. You know what I'm saying? Because all you had this, if she had just simply said, hey, we know he's still going through the legal process. Divorce, for some people, divorce can be a quick process. For other people, divorce takes a little bit longer. We just enjoying each other. That would have never made the blogs. You know why? Because there's nothing salacious in that. There's nothing salacious there. That would have never made the blogs. But you gave them something. You know what I'm saying? And I agree, right, Kim? The question was messy. It was a messy question. It was absolutely a messy question. And I do it. So you know what? I guess I do it. Well, I agree with what you're saying anyway. Because you can look at the Angie Martinez interview, and Angie Martinez basically got Remy Ma to talk about her relationship without being messy in it, right? Remy, Angie, and I mean, granted, Angie Martinez and Remy Ma are friends, like outside, they're friends, but she asked her, she was like, so what's your relationship status? And Remy was like, I'm single. So I guess her and that other guy, I guess they're not messing around anymore. She was like, I'm single. Like I'm single. So I'm guessing that her and old boy, they ain't really together like they were, they ain't together no more. So it is what it is. So Funky Dineva said a man will tell you anything. Well, yeah, we ain't need Funky Dineva to tell us that, but you right. I wonder if he loved bomb. Well, he loved bomb Remy Ma. I mean, we've seen Papoose for his works. And when I say we, I'm speaking to me. We just believed it. Like when we saw Black Love and we saw them together, we just believed it. But he was love bombing then. But we just thought that it was a real, mutual situation. Just like, at Christmas time when we saw her crash out at Christmas, like all of us saw that for what it was. He was back in New York, spending Christmas with his family. Remy Ma was going to be there because he was spending Christmas with his daughter, and you crashed out. You went to Louis Vuitton. You went on live. You posted all the videos of Louis Vuitton of you buying these gifts for yourself, and then you try to make us think that Papoose bought you. Girl, we saw you at the Louis Vuitton store. Even if Papoose walked in the door with something from Louis Vuitton that he spent with his own money, it still looked like it just wasn't a good look. But you crashed out because you were worried about what we were going to say about Papoose being in New York for Christmas. And you clearly weren't invited. Because y'all know, if Papoose said you want to go to New York with me and spend Christmas with my family, y'all know Clarissa would have went. So you clearly weren't invited. So I'm sure that, you know what I mean? Like, it's all kinds of stuff. But anyway, serious question. Is it hard to believe that he is really interested in her? Different people react differently to others. Is it hard to believe? No, it's not hard for me to believe it. But I also believe that I believe that Papoose likes Clarissa. I don't believe he's faking it. I don't believe that he's with her for the money and all that. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, I believed he loved Remy Ma as well. But some people have things about them. Papoose loved bomb. He love bombed on Remy Ma. I believe a lot of what Remy Ma said, not because I think Remy Ma is perfect and she don't lie, but when Papoose went live to explain stuff, he admitted that a lot of what Remy Ma said was true. He just tried to put his own spin on it. So because I believe a lot of what Remy Ma said, I'm going to have to say, I think that is who he is. That's just like a cheater. Do I think that men who cheat, or women, do I think that means they don't love the person that they're with? Yeah, they love them, but they still cheated on them. I believe you can love somebody and cheat on them. You know? So yeah, I mean, I do believe that he has feelings for her, but I also believe that, you know, he got some shit with him. You know? All she wants is for him to express his love for her publicly. That's why she spirals the way she does. I think he likes Clarissa too, but if Remy said, let's get back together, Papoose, I do believe that. I think if Remy called him and said, hey, I want you back, I do believe that. I believe that. Yeah. So there's that. There is that. There's an update in the Tina. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody just sent me a message. Sorry. Somebody just sent me a message. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Ooh, speaking of which, remind me, I got something to tell y'all. Ooh, I got something coming for y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna do the thumbnail and stuff when I get off of here. Hold on, let me read this real quick. All right, sorry. Ooh, Andrew said, all I see is that Pat ran up on a lick and he hit it. Well. Okay, so sorry about that. Now I lost what. Child, what I pick up my phone to do? Yeah. Hold on. Oh, that's what I remember what I picked up my phone to do. That's why I hate picking up my phone. Because it'd be 5,000 things going on. Okay. So, is this it right here? So, there's a little update in the divorce between ain't it time for you to go back to work? No, bitch. El Teddy, don't you come in here with that bullshit. Listen, in 48 hours, I'm going to be in your presence, sir. Don't come in here with that bullshit. When I see you in person, it's going to be a thing. Okay? Drop it down in my chat with that old bullshit. No, it ain't time for me to go back to work yet. Now back to what I was doing. Raven. You ain't gotta be scared. Let me tell you something. You being scared ain't never stopped the ass whooping. You don't have to be scared. Matter of fact, I don't want you to be scared. I don't want you to be scared. Y'all, El Teddy is taking me to the Museum of Sex on Saturday while we are in New York. The museum. Look at Lady Libra. Oh, don't hide. Don't hide, Lady Libra. Don't be hiding now. Oh, Lord. Hey, everybody coming in. Ain't fooling with El Teddy ass. The house, no, sex, S-E-X. It's the museum. Was it the Museum of Sex? Right, of course that's what El Teddy. Of all the museums in New York, that's the museum El Teddy's taking me to. Anyway, moving right along. Tell y'all what I learned. I'm going to learn everything because y'all know I'm a virgin. I'm an innocent. I need some more ice. I'm going to learn everything. Moving right along. So, there's an update in the Teddy Campbell, Tina Campbell, Mary divorce situation. So let me read you guys. Y'all know that Teddy Campbell filed for divorce. So Tina Campbell's attorneys have responded. So let's read their response. The response is as follows. Tina Campbell has officially responded to estranged husband Teddy Campbell's divorce petition, revealing that she's asking the court that for their marriage, what she's asking the court for as their marriage comes to an end. According to court documents, Tina, whose legal name is Trishina Campbell, filed a response and request for delusion of marriage in Los Angeles County Superior Court on August the 3rd. In the filing, she asked the court to dissolve the marriage based on irreconcilable differences. The documents state that the couple married on August 12th of 2000 and separated on August the 8th of 2024. So, y'all, they've been separated for 2 years. Baby, they have not lived as husband and wife for 2 years. See, this is what I mean when I say if people really want to, they can keep their business private. We didn't know nothing until he filed that divorce paper. They ain't been together in 2 years. Okay. Now, to be fair, nobody was really checking for them. But, okay. Just like Tiana Taylor, baby, we didn't know that we wouldn't have known that she had filed for divorce if Amani had come down here and told it. Same thing with Monique Samuels when she filed for divorce, baby. We didn't know nothing about it until she had to put an amendment in, and then the people found out. Tina requests joint legal custody and joint physical custody of their children with reasonable visitation for each parent. She is also asking the court to terminate its ability to award spousal support to either party. In addition, the filing indicates that the couple's community property and debts be determined at a later date. Tina's response comes months after Teddy initiated the divorce proceedings. And then it just goes on to talk about who they are. So basically for the kids, she wants to have physical custody, but wants them to have joint custody with the visitation. I don't know how many minor kids they have at this point, child. I don't forgot how, because I know Erica's kids, their son is like, that's their youngest son. He's like high school, middle high school. Their two youngest kids are, and their oldest daughter is in college. She's at Spelman. and then their two youngest kids. So I guess she got a couple of minor kids, child. Because didn't Tina had like 4 kids? Erica had 3. I think Tina had like 4. Um, but the only thing I found interesting is that, and I don't even find it interesting, y'all. She's like, look, both of us make money. I don't need to support him. He don't need to support me. Like, let him keep his money and make his money. Let me keep my money and make my money. Unfortunately, depending on how hard he decides to push, he might get spousal support. That depends on how hard he decides to push. That's the sad part. You think Tina only has 1 minor? Okay, yeah, because I forget all their different ages. But I do think she had like 4 kids. So it's only 1. Okay. Why did I think he was attractive at some point? I have an eye doctor's appointment tomorrow. I don't think Teddy's unattractive. I mean, I think the fact that he's a cheater makes him unattractive, but I don't think they probably didn't have a prenup. I doubt they had a prenup. First of all, they got married in 2000. He was a musician making money. She was making money. They come from that church mentality. I don't think if they had a prenup, I feel like that would have been said. Like, basically, one of them would have said they're just asking the court to follow the prenup. The fact that neither one of them mentioned a prenup in their documents makes me feel like there's no prenup. Yeah. So that's the update on that. Listen, at the end of the day, I just hope they're able to walk away and everybody just move on. Just let everybody move on. I think we know enough of their dirty laundry. We don't need no more. We don't need no more information. We done learned it all. She done told it all. Well, not all. I'm sure there's a lot more that we don't know, but we got enough. We got the gist. I know you voted for Trump, so that's pretty much all I need to know. I don't really care about nothing more. I don't care about nothing more. Yeah. All right. So there's that. I have an update on this Sidney Star situation. Now, yesterday, we talked about the Sidney Star situation yesterday. And real quick before I get into Sidney Star, they said that the UFC lost $30 million on that event at the White House. Great. Happy to hear it. So glad. I said glad. So glad. Shout out to Cardi B. She's the new face of the Old Navy denim campaign. Shout out to her. It looks like Kelly might be filming next season with her children. She put a public statement out yesterday thanking Phaedra for the victory in court. She said, this victory allows my children and me to begin a beautiful new chapter in our journey together. She said, although I've been in this fight for over 3 years, I also want to acknowledge and thank everyone who has been a part of the journey so long along the way. Every person who stood beside me helped me to this point. They say win the case, and that's exactly what you did. And please know every time. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to see her churn next season. All right. So let me give y'all this update on the Sidney Star situation. This is via TMZ. Sidney Star, okay, I'm not getting into all of that. Okay. Sidney Star spoke out shortly after the arrest, denying that she assaulted the child, but remains in custody in Fulton County. Hold on, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. Child. Hold on. I hate. Here it is right here. Okay, this is the update. Sorry, y'all. Exclusive. Now, this is coming. This is via TMZ, y'all. Sidney Starr told TMZ she unequivocally denies the allegations and rumors, but the arrest warrants tell a very different story. Now, this information is coming through TMZ, but it's coming from the arrest warrant, and I have the arrest warrant here. In documents exclusively obtained by the Docket Diva, shout out to the Docket Diva, 3 separate warrants were issued to Starr, all connected to the same incident on August the 2nd of 2026 at an Embassy Suites in Happyville, Georgia. Baby, Abby, me and you stayed at this Embassy Suites, baby. This is the Embassy Suites we stayed in when we went to Atlanta last year. Honey, this is the same Embassy Suites, girl. They all have the same case number. So warrant number 4618, actual battery, warrant 4619, sodomy, and warrant 4620, aggravated child, blah, blah, blah. The fact that there are 3 separate arrest warrants for one incident raises a real question about how this case was built and why the charges shifted the way they did. Okay, I'm just reading y'all. This is what it's saying, honey. What's most disturbing is that in all 3 warrants, the affidavit states the same thing, that Starr confessed to intentionally performing oral sex on a child and describing it as consensual. A minor cannot give consent. I don't know how many different ways we can tell y'all that, but I'm reading what it says here. As previously reported, Starr in Fulton County. Okay, so then she attached the actual warrant. So let's read it for ourselves so that won't nobody say, oh, they lying. Now, you know I got to take my glasses off because this writing is so small, child. It says, this is according to the affidavit for arrest. It says that Favors, that's Sidney's real legal last name, was advised of the Miranda Act, and then she confessed to performing oral on the victim's penis and stated it was consensual. So basically, as they were telling you to shut the fuck up, you were talking. As they were reading you your Miranda rights, according to this affidavit. Now, again, we can talk about whether the affidavit is accurate and all that. I ain't getting into all that. I'm going about what it say right here. So as the man says, as they was trying to read you your Miranda, you confessed. Dummy. Later on, in a separate warrant for arrest, this is a separate warrant. It says, the arrest, Sidney Favors, charged with the offense of aggravated child, blah, 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 and bringing okay, wait a minute. That just says that it was Sidney Starr. Okay. Okay, this is just verifying that it is Sidney Starr, and those were her words. I want to be very clear, and I hope I was clear yesterday. I was never defending this. I was never, ever, ever, ever defending this. I have absolutely nothing to say. I hope they bury your ass under the jail, because what I believe probably happened. Sidney Starr's an idiot. She's a fucking idiot. She's beyond the idiot. And what in her mind, because she's a fucking idiot, she probably felt like, I didn't do that. I only did this. Not understanding that this and that is both fucking illegal because the person was a minor. And it does not matter whether you knew or did not know. It does not matter whether they lied about their age or not. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, it doesn't fucking matter. The fact is, Sidney Starr, ma'am, you are in your 40s. If a person even look, this is the same thing we said about Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, you are 50, you are knocking on fucking 60. Why are you even messing with a 19-year-old? Like, what is it that, other than the obvious, what is it that a 19-year-old can do for you? It's the same concept. Well, it's actually not the same concept, because at least the woman was legal. 19 is barely legal, but she was fucking legal. Why are you even engaging in any sort of inappropriate anything with a child? There's absolutely, and like I said yesterday, and I'm going to keep saying it, the thing that I hate is that the headline keeps saying transgender, transgender, transgender. It shouldn't even fucking matter. Because this has nothing to do with her being trans. This has everything to do with her being sick. Let's be clear. Has nothing to do with her being trans. But that's going to be the headline. And unfortunately, you have given every fucking transphobic politician going into midterm elections, you are now the fucking poster child for all the things that they claim the transgender community is. You are the poster child, Sidney. Congratulations. And you black. That don't help either. Absolutely ridiculous. I know, right? Corio said, I know Chingy's enjoying this moment. Listen, take your victory lap, Chingy. And he, he may or may not, but I looked at his unsung on as it comes on TV One. And he gets into the details of that. And I don't think people really truly understand how bad where Chingy was in his career when she came out with these lies and how bad that hurt his career. There were other things going on, him falling out with Disturbing the Peace and Ludacris and that kind of thing. But that wasn't the end of his career. This put a nail in his career. He probably didn't sue her because it would have just put more attention on it. He probably was just hoping this shit would just go away and blow over. You know what I mean? She did, Corio Lover, and I hate it because, like I said, you are now going to be the poster child for every transphobic everything. You are going to be, that mugshot is going to be the thing. I mean, that's going to be the thing. So anyway, that's the update on that. And again, that's in the affidavit. I mean, of course, I'm sure that her attorney is going to argue that, all of the things that people argue, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, I believe you said it. Because you're a fucking idiot. Now, that's just my opinion. It's still an allegation until she's convicted in a court of law. So it's my opinion. Exactly. The LGBT community has enough hate. They view all of us as weirdos. This doesn't help, but we also shouldn't be grouped to begin with, in my opinion. Agreed. Trejor said, and sue her for what? She didn't have anything with her stupid stuff. Well, that's true. Sometimes you just sue for people to shut the fuck up. But yeah, she's like I said, I didn't know about the Chingy stuff until she was on Love and Hip Hop. When she did that one season on Love and Hip Hop New York, that's when because I don't know if I just didn't follow it. I don't know at the time. It went over my head, whatever. But I didn't know anything about it. But on that Love and Hip Hop episode season, she was on that one season. And that one season, we found out she lied about two really big things. The first thing she lied about was the Chingy thing. And she tried to act like it wasn't a big deal. Well, I apologize, blah, 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 blah. And then she lied about having bottom surgery. Now, for the average person, that may not be a big deal. You might be like, so what? Who cares? Why she? But again, when we start talking about things within the trans community, like it's a big deal to lie about that. Like, why are you lying about? She said she had bottom surgery when she really didn't. And then that was a big thing that she had to talk about, her lying about it. And my thing is, if you lie about that kind of shit, you'll lie about anything. That's why I say I believe that you fucking said what the police said you said. And let's be clear, I don't really be believing the police a whole lot. I don't. But on this one, On this one, yeah. She lied about, yeah, that was one when she was on Love and Hip Hop, she talked about that. And she was like, I forgot why she said she lied, but who gives a fuck? Exactly, Corey, yo. You're right. I ain't never seen no 13-year-old man that could pass for a man either, child. I agree. T.S. Madison stopped fucking with Sidney Starr a long time ago. At one point in time, I think T.S. Madison was trying to kind of mentor her, but when Sidney Starr went on Tasha K, and then she called, Sidney Starr called T.S. Madison while she was with Tasha K. That was the end of their relationship. She has not fucked with her since then, and that was maybe about 2 years ago. And T.S. Madison spoke on it. She did speak on it. She didn't defend her. She said it was fucked up. She said all of the things. She said it was fucked up. That she said you got to be careful out here. You got to make sure that you messing with who you messing with. You got to be, and she spoke on that. But she let it be clear. Listen, I don't fuck with her. Like, we not friends. We not cool. We ain't been cool in a long time. So no. At one point in time, I do think T.S. was trying to mentor her and trying to kind of be a mentor to her, but that relationship has been over for a while. And unfortunately, let's go from one situation to another as it relates to inappropriate behavior, alleged inappropriate behavior with minors. Now, about a year ago, maybe it was longer. Shit, I don't know. Thank you, Janera. Thank you for the Jules. We talked about Shangela. We read the lawsuit. We went over a couple of the lawsuits. Shangela, who is a drag queen, she famously was on multiple seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. She was also on what was it? We Are Here. We Were There. What's the name of that show on HBO? It was her, Bob the Drag Queen, and Eureka. What was it called? Shit. Y'all can't remember it. I think it was We Were Here. Is that the name of the show? Thank you. I appreciate you, my love. He has been accused of by multiple people of We Are Here. Is that what it's called? Thank you. We Are Here. Shangela has been accused of multiple. Again, I think we read like 2 of the lawsuits. Both of them were civil. I don't think there have been any criminal cases. They've all been civil cases of her being inappropriate. I remember one case in particular was allegedly somebody on the crew for We Were There. They were filming in New Orleans, I believe. And they were on the crew, and that person alleged that Shangela drugged them and, took advantage of them. None of it was with a minor, but there were accusations. As a result, we haven't heard a lot more publicly being said, but as a result, Angela has pretty much been run out of the A-list of drag in the United States. And Shangela has been performing outside of the United States. They have continued to perform like in Mexico and in other venues outside of the United States. But inside the United States, Shangela really is persona non grata. She's very much, a leper and Angela, you're here. So if I say something wrong, let me know. The reason why I say that is because Angela is a drag queen. And so if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. So Kennedy Davenport is celebrating 30 years of drag. Kennedy Davenport is also celebrating her birthday. Kennedy Davenport, again, is a staple in the drag community, multiple seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, so forth and so on. She announced that she's having a big party for her to celebrate her 30 years in drag and to celebrate her birthday. Shangela was one of the performers that was on the flyer. Now, when you look at the flyer is full of like the who's who of drag stars, right? A-list across the board. As soon as the flyer came out, people immediately started dropping out, citing they did not want to perform with Shangela because Shangela is performing. Shangela is on the flyer and she is performing. We're Here. Thank you. The show was We're Here. Thank you. I can't remember the name of it. Multiple people are dropping out. As soon as that flyer came out, people started dropping off. Now, I followed this over to the Tiki-Taki. That's how I stumbled into it. Over to the Tiki-Taki. Where I'm a little disappointed, I did not realize that Kennedy Davenport was defending Shangela. And let me say this. I know that when you know somebody personally, it's hard to separate the two. However, when you know that there's a perception, I mean, Shangela has had well over, I know it's been at least 8 or 9 accusers, right? And you could say, was Shangela ever proven? She was never charged criminally. Everything was civil lawsuits. However, you can't be mad at people for saying, look, I don't want to share a venue with you. I don't want to be on a flyer with you. I don't want people to think that I'm cool or that I'm connected. You don't have to get in the comment section. You know, you can support your friend, but you don't have to get in the comment section and windmill. You just don't. You don't. Because now what people are doing, now people have the screenshots of you in the comment section windmilling for Shangela. And again, has Shangela ever been convicted? She has not. Shangela, to my knowledge, never been convicted. Been multiple civil cases, but no convictions. And again, we don't have to go down that road again. We talked about it with Diddy. We talked about it with R. Kelly. We've talked about this before. It is very hard for these cases, especially when we're talking about 2 gay men. If a woman in this heterosexual society that we live in, if a woman has a hard time getting people to believe her as it relates to her being violated, can you imagine a gay man walking into a police station, getting some people to believe him about his experience? So a lot of them did not pursue the legal road. A lot of them pursued the civil road, right? Hold on, let me see what Angela said. I take things happening to the Black queens in this franchise with a grain of salt, but I won't windmill for Shangela. Yeah. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me read y'all this article real quick. Now, this is from 2024. Let me just read y'all this article. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. This is coming from Rolling Stone. Actor and drag star Shangela accused of multiple essays. It says, former RuPaul Drag Race star Darius Pierce was the subject of a previously unreported police report. So no, there was a police report. So I stand corrected. There was a police report. He adamantly denies ever engaging in non-consensual sex with anyone. Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. Let me log in. Every time I get ready to cancel my Rolling Stone subscription, then I end up finding a reason to pay for it another month. Hold on, let me log into my Rolling Stone account. Child. Is this the right account? Okay, yeah, that's the right account. Okay. Shangela was a breakout star with her sharp-tongued retorts, viral catchphrases, and distinctive Southern accent. The Texas drag queen quickly rose to become one of RuPaul's Drag Race most beloved contestants. Despite an early okay, I don't need the whole history. Okay, Chad is giving us the whole history of Shangela. Okay, Chad, I don't need the whole history of Shangela. Okay, let's get here. The allegations against Angela's that old? I didn't know Shangela was that old. This article was in 2024 and it said that Shangela was 43. Damn. I don't know why I thought Shangela was younger than that. But anyway, the allegations against Perez mirror elements laid out in a recently settled civil lawsuit against the star by a former colleague. So he has settled cases. Okay. So there have been some settlements. That's not an acknowledgement of guilt just because you settle. According to court documents, Perez was accused of R-ing a production assistant from We're Here, a television show bringing one night. Okay, we know what it's about. In a legal letter to Rolling Stone, Perez, through his lawyer Andrew Bretler, called the allegations false and unsupported by any evidence or reliable witness testimony, claiming that there were significant problems with purported accusers' accounts. Bretler asserted that Perez adamantly denies ever engaging in non-consensual sex. Now, Shangela admitted that they had sex, but Shangela said it was consensual. The other person said that he was drugged. That's the lawsuit we read. I remember us reading that one. The investigation, which began in November 2022, is based on 16 months of research, court documents, and interviews with several accusers. Excuse me. Over the course of reporting, Rolling Stone uncovered a previously unreported police complaint filed in Los Angeles and multiple independent accusations spanning several years, alleging sexually coercive and assaultive behavior by the drag star. 5 people independently described nights out with Perez when they were between the ages of 18 and 23. All 5 said that Perez nearly doubled their age and fresh off headlining, grabbing spots on the silver screen and award show carpets, drank with them through the late hours of the night into the morning. The accusers all said that they were acutely aware of Shangela's celebrity status. 3 people said they were aspiring drag queens. One of the sources claimed they got so drunk they vomited in a hotel bed moments before they were allegedly assaulted in the same bed. Nearly all accusers said it took them at least months to process the alleged sexual assault. The alleged interaction spanned from 2012 to 2018 in Louisiana, California, and in the UK. Perez has maintained his innocence, but admitted to meeting with 4 of the sources on the dates of the alleged assaults. Perez said he does not remember the 5th accuser. Okay. Controversy around the drag star initially erupted last May when a production assistant named Daniel McGargle, working on HBO's We're Here, filed a civil lawsuit against Perez and his employer, Buckingham Television, alleging RAPE in Los Angeles after having filed a police report against the star in Ruston, Louisiana. I'm trying to cut through some of this stuff. Y'all know Rolling Stone can be long-winded, child. Okay. A settlement was reached in February and the case was dismissed. So the legal case was dismissed after a settlement was reached on the civil side. That was probably part of the settlement. 3 sources who spoke to Rolling Stone had spoken to BuzzFeed News, which was set to publish the allegations last year. When the Pulitzer Prize-winning publication shut down in April of 2023, the investigation into Perez was never published. 2 more accusers stepped forward during Rolling Stone's continued reporting. All 5 sources who spoke to Rolling Stone identify as queer and have participated in or watched drag shows, citing anti-drag. Okay, now they're getting into the anti-drag laws and all that stuff. Okay, y'all get the gist of it. So as of 2024, there were 5 different accusers. Again, accusations don't mean guilt, but if other drag queens are saying, hey, this person is persona non grata in the drag community, I don't want to be seen on a flyer with them. I don't want to be seen connected to them because I don't want any misunderstandings, that I'm cool with it, I'm defending it, like all of those things. Here's what I'm gonna say though, and let's be very clear. I ain't saying nobody's guilty, because I won't there and I don't know these people like that. But if there were 5 accusers, this was in 2024, so 2 years ago, if there were 5 accusers, and you remember 4 of those accusers, and you remember going out on dates with 4 of those accusers, and you say that on the date that those accusers say that they were assaulted, that's the same date that y'all went on a date together, and they all have the same MO. They all say that they were in some way intoxicated or drugged, and they didn't really remember the whole incident. All of them saying the same thing. That don't mean it's true, but that takes me back to the Bill Cosby of it all. All these women had the same MO. They didn't all talk to each other. They didn't all link up and say, hey, this is going to be the story that we're going to tell. Jasmine Masters tried to tell the people about Shangela Justice. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Jasmine Masters had spoken out about Shangela. I did not know. I don't really be following a lot of the tea like that. Maybe there be so much drama going on with these trying to be so much drama going on with the RuPaul's of it all. I was following the Akira Silky situation. I did follow that a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. I followed it, and from what I walked away from, Akira girl, you, in my opinion, it sounded like Akira was wrong. But that's a whole nother conversation, child. Yeah, I'm not saying. Again, I'm certainly not going to say that Shangela's guilty. It doesn't sound like Shangela has been criminally convicted of anything. It sounds like, but it does sound like a lot of accusations that are telling the same story. And you're saying you remember these people, but you remember it differently. You remember that y'all had consensual sex. I'm just saying. I guess everybody was lying. I guess everybody was everybody lying? Anyway, well, there's that. So there's that, you guys. With that being said, that's that. Let's talk about this Perez Hilton situation. Now, I got wind of this Perez Hilton situation last night. There weren't a lot of details. For those who do not know who Perez Hilton is really one of the forefathers of this celebrity news and gossip thing, right? Like if there were a Mount Rushmore for this celebrity news and gossip genre, Perez Hilton is on the Mount Rushmore. Now, whether you like Perez Hilton or not, I used to run, and I'm exaggerating, I didn't physically run, but every day when I came home and logged into my AOL dial-up account, had to listen to the beeping and the ringing of my computer trying to connect to the internet, one of the very first places that I would go was Perez Hilton's blog to get my celebrity news update. Literally. Perez Hilton, B. Scott, Sandra Rose, like that was my staple. Every day. And listen, whether you like Perez Hilton or not, baby, Perez had the juice. Perez had the celebrity gossip. Now, it was a lot of white celebrity gossip. He didn't, I had to read like the B. Scotts and the Sandra Rose for the black tea. But anything going on, with the Britney Spears and the Kardashians of it all, baby, he knew it. He had it all. He had it all. Do you hear me? Now, I stopped kind of fucking with Perez Hilton when that whole situation with the Black Eyed Peas went down, because I felt like he was giving his best Karen moment, and I ain't like it. I didn't like. Oh, see, I never watched Bad Girls Club, so I didn't even know he hosted the reunions. I never watched the Bad Girls Club, but by that time, I probably had stopped following him. I stopped following Perez Hilton, like I said, one, when I started finding other places where I could get my tea, but when that whole thing with let me tell you what it was with the Black Eyed Peas. I don't remember all of the details, but here's what I do remember. I remember that Perez Hilton used to talk shit about the Black Eyed Peas and will.i.am, specifically will.i.am. Talked mad shit about them. I don't remember why, but he was on their ass. You know, this was like at the height of, you know, when the Black Eyed Peas were the shit. I don't know what it was he had against the Black Eyed Peas or specifically will.i.am, but he talked mad shit about them. And then one day he ran into them, and will.i.am approached him and was like, all right, now talk all that shit you was like, say it to my face. Like, talk all that shit that you say online, say it to my face. And they proceeded to get into, you know, a verbal situation, and will.i.am punched him. Baby, the way Perez Hilton put his best Karen white woman tears, and he ain't even a white woman, but did his best Karen white woman tears and act like he didn't understand. Why would he do this to me? He punched me, like he came online with this black eye and crying. And baby, when I say he wore that thing out for probably like 2 weeks. He wore that thing out about that man hitting him. Now, to be fair, you know, he did punch him. But I just felt like you really act like it was unprovoked. Like you really act like you wasn't out here really dogging this man out every chance you got. And honestly, at that point, I had already started kind of moving away from Perez Hilton a little bit because he was doing a lot. Like he was turning very mean girl to me. You know, this was around the time when people were coming from behind the blogs and we were starting to meet the personalities. When Perez Hilton was just a blog and I was just reading his blog, it was one thing. But when he started speaking and doing videos, and I started hearing his tone and hearing what he was saying, and he was coming off very mean girl. So I'm gonna be honest, it has been years since I followed Perez Hilton. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot all about Perez Hilton until I got on TikTok. I forgot all about Perez Hilton until I got on TikTok and he started popping up in my feed. And I was like, Perez Hilton is still doing? Because I didn't know he was still out here doing celebrity stuff. Like, I thought he had moved on to other things because I never saw him. I don't follow him on YouTube. I don't follow him on Instagram. Like, I don't even know if he has a YouTube or Instagram. And I stopped reading his blog years ago. I mean, I'm sure he don't even do it. I mean, who does blogs anymore? But some very disturbing stuff happened last night on his TikTok live. I'm going to be very careful in my words, you guys, because of YouTube and all of the things. I have to be very careful in my words. But he had a very disturbing live on TikTok last night where he was and I did not watch the video. And please, nobody send me the video. I do not want to see it. Please, nobody send me the video. I do not want to see it. But from my understanding, he was unclothed. He was live. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Xavier. Substacks are basically blogs. You're right. Substacks really are blogs. You're absolutely correct. And I really enjoy Substack. But anyway, that's another conversation. And from my understanding, he was self-harming himself on the live. It sounds like he had a mental break. We know that he has dealt with mental health issues in the past. When I say we know, he's been very candid about his mental health struggles. Yeah, if anybody sends it to me, I'm telling you now, I'm blocking you. I do not want to see it. I'm not playing. I'm not joking. There's no part of me that wants to see this video. So please do not send it to me. If you send it to me, I am going to block you. And I am very serious about that. I do not want to see it. It's, of course, people have screenshots and screen recordings, but TikTok has taken it down, and TikTok, from my understanding, has banned his account. But he was eventually taken. There was a standoff in front of his home last night. I believe they said SWAT was there or something. It was a serious response to his home. They eventually did take him out in an ambulance and took him to the hospital, where his family has released a statement. His family has said the following. This was posted maybe about an hour or so ago. Many of you have reached out with concern for Perez, and we are incredibly grateful for the overwhelming outpouring of love, support, and prayers. We can confirm that Perez is receiving medical care, and our family's focus right now is on his well-being. We kindly ask that you respect Perez's privacy as well as the privacy of his family during this difficult time. If and when we are able to share any updates, we will do so with everyone as soon as we can. Thank you for your compassion, understanding, and continued support. Signed, the Perez Hilton team and family. I saw something on TMZ literally as I was live. It popped up that is saying that, hold on. It says that Perez was allegedly under financial stress. This is coming from TMZ. Perez Hilton was stressing out over money and struggling to adjust to his new life in Miami in the weeks leading up to a concerning live stream that resulted in police response and hospitalization. Sources familiar tell TMZ when Perez put his $1 million Las Vegas house up on the market and abruptly moved to Miami in June, he was telling people that he was very stressed out about finances, overwhelmed and hustling, looking for ways to make some dough. We're told life was good for Perez in Vegas. He got a lot of comps and was treated well for his local celebrity status. And he assumed he'd get the same love in South Miami. He didn't. So on top of money issues, the freebies were gone. The single father of 3 was open about his cash crunch. He posted a video in May saying his weeks-long hospital stay earlier in the year drained his bank account. So he was hawking new merch to make ends meet. Following his serious medical issues, he became deeply religious, and he used this as something of a rebranding, and his merch store was filled with Jesus shirts. We're told that Perez was seen in Miami a couple of weeks ago. He was hobnobbing with socialites and seemed fine, but something clearly had changed. Prior to the move, Perez made a video with his 3 kids saying he was looking forward to new experiences and opportunities in Miami, and he was manifesting success. Perez started live streaming Tuesday night, and he was cut and prompting concern to viewers to call the police and first responders. Perez was taken to the hospital where he's currently undergoing a 72-hour psychiatric evaluation. Because I remember when he adopted his first child, and I think that was around the time I stopped kind of following him when he lost all the weight. I think he had weight loss surgery, but he had lost all the weight because he was kind of like a fat thing. But he's done a good job of keeping the weight off. Like it's probably been about 15 years since he had the surgery or whatever he did to lose all the weight. And he's kept the weight off. And I remember when he adopted his first child, maybe his second child. I didn't know about the third one. Somebody in the chat a few minutes ago asked me, do I think that this is his karma? Like people said that Wendy Williams was getting her karma. I can't speak for other people. I'm going to speak for myself. I never felt like Wendy Williams being sick was karma. I always felt like Wendy Williams being alone and not having a real strong friend group around her was karma for the fact that she did not create relationships. She felt like everything was a story. it didn't matter. Yeah, because that's why her and Nene Leakes fell out. Remember, her and Nene were cool, but then Nene felt like she reported on some stuff, and she was like, "Damn, I thought we were friends, and you reporting on me." And Wendy was like, "Girl, I tried to tell you that's why I don't have no friends. Because if a story hit my desk, it's my job to report it." And so I felt like her being alone while she was going through this was the karma for the life that she created. I never felt like her getting sick was any sort of karma. And so I feel the same way about Perez Hilton, even though I ain't crazy about how he chose to report news and do the things he did. I don't feel like somebody having a mental break or some sort of mental health break. I would never feel like that is karma, Yeah. Yeah. I don't believe that is karma. All we can do is pray for those who choose to. I don't wish these kinds of things, especially again. I'm not going to get into the details of everything that went on the live stream. You can find a video. Find an article that will give you the details, but I'm not going to go too deep into it. But it was very disturbing. It was a very, very disturbing thing. One thing I want to, and let me say this too. I have a very interesting interview scheduled for tomorrow. Again, when I get off of here, I'm going to do the thumbnail to set everything up. But somebody reached out to me and wanted to share their story with me. And they actually reached out to me last week, I believe, but I was on vacation and, I forgot, I'm gonna be honest. And so they reached out to me and we were able to connect today. And so I'm going to do the interview and have the conversation tomorrow. It's going to be, listen, I'm going to give y'all a teaser for the 200 people that's here. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a teaser. It is about a celebrity DJ. I ain't going to say no names. You'll find out who that celebrity DJ is tomorrow, but it's a celebrity DJ and it's a story. Okay. So we're going to do that conversation tomorrow. We're going to do that interview tomorrow. So meet me back here tomorrow at 3:30. 3:30. Let me say this though. There are different ways to do this celebrity gossip situation, right? I accept the fact that I get paid to come down here and talk about other people's business. That is what it is. I get paid to come down here and talk about other people's business. Let's just call the thing a thing. We call it, I'm not, I see y'all in the chat trying to guess. We're going to call it a thing. But there are different ways that you can do this celebrity thing, right? And everybody does it differently. There's no wrong way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. It's all about how you choose to do it. So, again, there are people I choose not to talk about. I can make money. Do y'all know how much money I could be making off of talking about Blueface and Krishan? I choose not to talk about certain things because honestly, y'all, I've said this to y'all before. Y'all can tell when I don't give a damn about something I'm talking about. I don't give a damn about them. At this point, anybody that chooses to continue to be a part of the Blueface show, you just want to be a part of the Blueface show. I don't have no energy and no interest in continuously coming down here talking about that shit. I just don't. Some of these people, I don't even know who they are because I'm just old, y'all. And I don't know some of these people, I'm reading the blogs and they talk. I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. Don't know them. I choose who I want to talk about and what topics I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does it differently. Everybody does it differently. And there's, I'm not going to tell somebody that they're wrong for doing it the way they do it. Just understand that there are consequences to decisions that we make. So the way you choose to do something, there's going to be a consequence for the way you chose to do it. That's just what it is. Will I talk about Krishan's trial? I didn't even know the girl was going on trial. What trial? I don't know nothing about her trial. Didn't she get arrested a few weeks ago for something? I don't know. Chuck said, and I'm older. Okay. We're all of a certain age. We don't know or care about the people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, my audience is who my audience is. So y'all love, y'all love the stuff that y'all love to hear me talk about. And there's that. And hell, sometimes I be talking about stuff and y'all be like, I don't want to hear this. I be like, well, damn, okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Well, with that being said, Woo Lady, I don't know who's Woo Lady. Is that like some TikTok person or something? I've always been a fan of your sincere approach in presenting your content. I don't typically watch other content creators. Team Really Be. Yes, Team Really Be, and that's it. Period. Thank you, T. Thank you, girl. With that being said, y'all, let me get off of here. I'm going to yeah, I saw with Stephon Diggs where they were where the Commanders were in talks. They officially signed him, correct? Okay. Well, listen, I ain't mad about it. Maybe Cardi B will be at a game or two, child. Maybe she'll be hanging out at a game or two, honey. I ain't mad at it. Oh, I just got a message. They said Kennedy Davenport is on live now talking about being heartbroken because people are backing out of her party. Well, I mean, listen. So anyway, let me get out of here, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Remember, we will be here at we will be back at 8:00 on JoJo's house to talk about the last 2 episodes of Heart and Hustle Houston. And then at 9:30, I'll be live with Shade in the City to talk about Put a Ring on It, Cheaters Edition, child. I'm about to go watch this episode because I don't even know what the hell it was. I don't even know what it was. So let me go watch the show so I know what to talk about. With that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Can you get info on Books and Bourbon? What info you need, J Love? Yes, you can get the info. Tell me what you. So Books and Bourbon. Oh, thank you for reminding me too. Books and Bourbon is the weekend of October the 22nd through the 24th. It is in Louisville, Kentucky. We are staying at. Oh Lord, why I always forget the name of the hotel we staying at? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me get into my email. What hotel are we staying at, y'all? Who's here that's going to Books and Bourbon that know what hotel we staying at? I always forget the name of that damn hotel. It starts with a C. Oh, gosh. It starts with a C. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see something.
A teacher was fired for posting.
Okay. I was trying to see if I could find Kennedy Davenport, but I don't see where she's live. Is she live on YouTube? I don't see her on TikTok. I don't see her on Instagram. Maybe she's live on YouTube. I was just trying to see if we could find out what she's saying. I'm sure it'll be on TikTok later on today. I'll find it on TikTok. I'll find it on TikTok. I'm sure it'll be on TikTok later on. Angela, if you find it, send it to me, babe. I know you'll find it, child. Let me see. Louisville. Cambria. We're staying at the, and it's probably already in the chat by the time I found it. We're staying at the Cambria Hotel. It is the weekend of October the 22nd through the 23rd. If you want, thank you, Corio, for coming through, boo. If you want to get the VIP package, is $150 for the VIP package. That includes the tickets to the 2 distilleries that we're going to, your t-shirt, transportation when needed, and your merch from the book festival. And you'll also get a miniature Louisville Slugger. So if you want to come, the event itself is free. You don't have to get a VIP package. You can just, come to the event, hang out with us, come, stay for the weekend. If you want the VIP package, that's what that is. And we're staying at the Cambria Hotel. I do not think we have any more of our special rates. I think I blocked off 10 rooms. But if you want to go, reach out to me. Like, I don't know what the current rate is, but reach out to me if the hotel is just high, or and I can see if I can negotiate. Because they told me before that I could get more rooms added if I needed them. But the person I was working with also left. She sent me an email, let me know that she was no longer with the company. So it might be tricky, but because that's the same person I worked with last year, and she hooked me up this year. But so if you're interested in going, let me know. Okay. All right. With that being said, I'm out of here. If you are watching this on the replay, hype the video, hype it up, hype us, hype it us. I gotta get back. Look, I gotta get back in the algorithm, child. Y'all know I was on vacation. I wasn't going live. All right. Okay. With that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.